Test recording? Since when? Let me take a drink. G-Fit. G-Fit. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, dog.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We are diving in to episode number 50.
50.
This is episode number 50, dude.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I was actually looking last night. We had our schedules have been colliding a little bit, so we haven't been able to do a week here or whatever. But a year ago, I think today, we released episode 0.
Today?
I think it's today. It's
Holy
either
cow.
today or Thursday. It didn't fall, obviously, on the day that this comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10/10. It was either 10/10 or 10.
For some reason,
12.
10/10 was in my head and 10/18. For some reason, I was like, it's one of those two dates.
Yeah, I mean 10/18 would make sense for episode 1 if episode 0 came out on 11. No, because it didn't come out on 11. Whatever. We're right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, holy cow, man.
I guess.
That is nuts. So we are almost a year in to Collective Comics, the channel, and the Lights Comics Action podcast, which is nuts. Yeah. Time is going by pretty quick. You know what? Honestly, I've been pretty down on myself because we had to miss a couple podcasts and stuff like that. But the fact that we're on episode number 50, and there's only 52 weeks in a year, means that we've only missed 2 episodes.
It would have come out on the 12th.
The 12th.
Yeah. So that was Wednesday last year was the 12th. That would have been the episode 0 of Lights Comics Action.
Dang, man.
Look at what we've done in a year, man.
What we've done in a year.
We did Black Hole Comic Con. We had the Selling Superman doc. We had Tommy.
Yeah.
We spoiled that last week, right?
Yeah, and we have our first exclusive cover.
Yeah, like
coming
there we
out.
Go.
We're getting drawn into the comic book.
Boom, nailed it.
That's the craziest part, bro. I don't know what in comic book terms, because we come from the music industry. Made it means, but in the comic industry, if you're in a comic book and somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to draw you in my comic book," you made it. Not really, but in my head, dude, I'm like, this is like the ultimate, like, I'm gonna be in a book,
right?
Doing the podcast.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty cool.
That's the craziest part.
It's been a crazy year.
Yeah, man. So, guys, you guys got to stick around. I'm gonna throw a cover up on the screen right now, just so you guys can see it. This is one cover. We're doing 2 covers. We're doing a set. So we got a Virgin exclusive and a trade dress exclusive of Kingsville. This is issue number 2.
Yes.
At the end of Kingsville number 1, we got a full page cameo of Lady Lex.
Yes. Yes.
So now this is her first full appearance in issue number 2. So we had to take full advantage of that and throw her on the cover. And the colors were done by Fabrice Sapolsky, and the pencils and inks were done by Will Torres. And they both just blew me out of the water.
They're
with
dope.
This cover. I cannot wait.
There's the Kickstarter. Go check out World at War Comics. You can get some sweet deals when you jump in and support the Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. He's got all kinds of things like package deals of all the covers and all kinds of stuff over there. So go check it out.
We're backing it. So you gotta back it.
It's super dope. Super dope.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So for more news and announcements, I guess we could say, because we're kicking it right off.
Yes.
We're kicking it right off with news and announcements. One thing that happened this week that I was super excited about was that the writer, well, technically it was last week, The writer's strike is officially over.
Yeah, it was crazy because like it was like writer's strike is over, writer's strike is over, writer's strike is over. I turned on Hulu and like Family Guy on Bob's Burgers, boom, new episodes. It's like they had those things ready. They had them ready to
locked
go.
and loaded.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we weren't working, but we were working.
Right. It's crazy.
They had to. They're gonna push it out quick.
Yeah,
So.
I've been looking a little bit at like the timeline for movies that were pushed back and canceled. I haven't seen any updates yet, but I'm sure they're not far away, you know, with like the Daredevil stuff. And I mean, we got the Penguin stuff, all kinds of stuff that got indefinitely postponed until the strike was over. So
right,
I'm excited to see what comes of all that too.
Yeah. There's a whole lot going on, especially right now. I'm forgetting his name. You sent me a reel of his on Instagram, and this is a lot of times. This is who I've been watching a lot of times, and I guess you've been watching him too.
Oh yeah.
Following the strike, you know, and he is on the lines at the actor strike. So these writers are joining in still with these actors, understanding that hey, they still need to act, and in order for my written work to be a success, they need to be there too. You know, so it's going hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean it's one big happy family. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If the mouth eats, the hands must feed. You know, things like that nature. What?
Exactly how it should. Exactly how it should be.
Yeah.
You know, especially because writers used to not really get fair wages in comparison to actors, especially regarding like royalties and things of that nature. So with this writer strike being over, we saw that they had contracts in their hands, and they're saying pretty much 100% of their demands were met in this contract.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty drastic change from what we saw before when, you know, the studios were like, we're just going to make you go broke until you have to take a worse, you know, contract. And then
they lost money.
Right, yeah.
On big movies, so they're like, yeah, we need you.
maybe we want you to come back.
Right. Maybe you left us with garbage because you didn't get to rewrite it. Right. Oh, we wanted you to.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I'm curious to see, you know, what things look like going forward. You know what I mean? I hope it goes well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and the biggest thing I think is protection against AI.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the big one that it was, you know, a demand that they needed. And I think we've been rooting for that one for the longest time because we mess around a little bit with AI, but it ain't nothing that you should pull off as your own creativity.
Right. I think that's kind of where I've always fallen on it, using it for like inspiration or like mood boards or, you know, things like that, using it as tools. I think
even
that's
just posting it on social media.
That's one thing, but like trying to make a whole career off of AI, that's something that I've never really agreed with, unless like you put yourself out there as like an AI creator. You know what I mean?
Right. Which
like
I don't even 100% agree with because like how much of that did you create? You know?
Yeah, but I mean, you're never gonna stop it completely, and as long as you're honest about it, you know what I mean. As long as you're not out here like I'm a graphic designer, but you've never designed any graphics, like that's where I feel like you can't cross that line. But if you're like making a social media called like so and so AI, like you're just putting it out there for like this is content, you know what I mean? It's not any worse than everybody stealing everybody else's content at this point. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I feel like there is a certain like respectability, especially on like Midjourney and things like that, of making like the perfect prompts and things. You know what I mean? Like you can make bad prompts and make bad AI. I think it's cool to like even have like a shop, like have like these are my AI creations if you want to grab them, whatever. But if you're out there like I made this in Photoshop, but you don't know how to use Photoshop, that's where like it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's wrong. Very.
I think the other big one is like we talk about Scotty Young a lot or Jim Lee, the people who like make the prompts and then put one of their names at the end to make that style.
Right.
I feel like that's really sketchy too, you know? Like if you find your own AI style, that's one thing, but just biting somebody else's style is kind of cringy to me. I mean, obviously everybody has influence when you're actually doing art, you know, that's always going to happen, but
that's kind of how I feel about AI anyways, is that it's just a mix up of whatever it can pull, you know?
Yeah.
Put lines to it.
That's like ChatGPT and like people just straight up like there's people at this point I'm sure who just like ChatGPT give me 15 recipes and then they put them out as a cookbook. You know,
yeah,
you can't even make mac and cheese and you put out a cookbook, bro. Like get out of here.
Right. But I mean, dude, that's crazy because that actually sounds like I've seen that like on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people like get like one of those get rich quick schemes.
Right, exactly.
Type of thing. Like people saying, oh, go and write this cookbook and have AI do it, and then now you have a fully published cookbook, and you can also do the art on there and upload it to Kindle or Amazon or however it works, and then get 10,000 downloads, and you made a lot of money. Which
it's like I talked to you before because I was like getting into drawing and stuff, and I had like my little style, and I want to make like little stickers of all like the characters and stuff that I made. But then you go online, it's like use this to make stickers, use this to do stickers, and you don't even design anything. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to turn out like what these people. You can do hundreds a day, you know, on Midjourney or whatever, and then like a real artist. Not calling myself a real artist, but a real artist doesn't put out that quantity. You know what I mean?
right.
And if they do, I mean, sometimes the quality fades, but if the AI is the quality, it is the quality. You know what I mean? There's nothing, you're not really sacrificing anything for just breezing through it. I don't know.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah. You know, speaking of the worst with AI, everything that we've talked about it a lot on the podcast.
Yeah.
That somebody is gonna try to pull the art off as their own, or off as another artist that they did an exclusive cover, and that has unfortunately happened. I think it's obviously within the last week. It could have been within the last 2 weeks, but it's surfacing through Instagram. I'm not gonna go and say names.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna go and say names. If you guys want to go through Instagram and go on whatnot, and you'll be able to find it. You'll be able to find out pretty easily if you wanted to. But what has happened is I'm pretty sure this dealer did an exclusive cover, said that they got it done by whatever artist they said, and I could be confusing that part of the story a little bit. They either said it was by an artist, or they said it was done themselves, and didn't say that it was AI, and it was indeed AI.
Yeah.
So what had happened was somebody got the actual, photo, PNG or whatever, of the cover, because they got a digital copy or they saw it online or whatever, because they're all over the place. You could find those kind of covers. You could find a high-res picture of it. You could zoom in on it. All AI art. And this is the kicker. So if you're ever suspicious of somebody using AI art, zoom in on it. Zoom in on it, and it'll blow up and be pixelated, but there's watermarks.
Right.
I'm not joking. There's watermarks, and once you see it, you're like, whoa. I bet you can just Google right now. Guys, if you want to Google right now, AI watermark.
Yeah.
You'll see it all over these images.
I'm definitely going to look at it after. Well,
might as well look at it right now,
watermark. Yeah.
Just pull it up. Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. If you want, this is the name that I will drop because he's the homie. And go to Troll Hunter Comics on Instagram. and he did a whole post about it. He went on a rant. He does these rants, and I love his videos because he does these rants, and he's so funny when he does it. But he posted the picture, he posted a video, and like, this is the comic cover, this is who did it, you know. So if you really wanted to go and find out, you guys can head over there and go and support the homie, because he feels like stirring up stuff.
It's crazy. I typed in AI watermark, and the first things that popped up is like, how to remove it, how to remove it, how to remove it.
How to remove
Obviously,
it. How
all
to
these
remove
people,
it.
yeah, all these people who are making whole careers off of just AI generating things as their own are worried.
So when trying to look up the watermark for AI art, the first thing that pops up, because it's been searched so many times, is how to remove the watermark.
Yeah.
I don't think they can. They can't. It's in there. It's deep too.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's in there.
I'm not gonna say names either, but somebody on this podcast, when I said it's only a matter of time before we get an AI variants and AI comic books, and you know, somebody putting it out as their own, they didn't believe it was gonna happen. You know,
okay, but this is what happened. So not that I didn't believe that was gonna happen,
yeah,
but I don't think that the community is stupid enough, and we're not, because we caught them, to fall for it.
I wonder how many we haven't caught that. You know what I mean?
I don't really think it's that many, dude. There's no way.
I don't know.
There's no way. There's no way.
What is it called? I'm being the people who are very negative about things. I'm like, somebody got us.
That's
bro. Somebody got us. I know it.
Will got us. No, I'm joking.
No.
Right, but that's no, bro. Like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But they're trying to kind of save their butt and say that they didn't know that AI was being used, or that the colorist used AI, and
yeah. We'll
that
see.
just,
I mean,
if you used it, period, and you're not gonna just say like AI generated art, exclusive cover, or something.
yeah, like AI variant, or you know,
something like that. Like,
yeah.
at least give us the option to not support you.
I think I just saw recently, like Tom Hanks, like publicly said, like there's a commercial floating around with my voice in it. I did not voice that commercial.
It was Rogan.
I think it happened with Tom Hanks too.
That's funny.
I think Rogan went out
signed
there
up for it and does it though.
Rogan like publicly was like, yeah, I don't do ads anymore. Like they just use AI to do it.
Mm-hmm. But he gets paid. I think they let him do, like, he licenses it.
Yeah. I think I had previously mentioned that I was listening to Strike Force 5, which was like all the talk show hosts. Like they started a podcast to earn money for their employees while they were out of work during the strike. And they just did their last episode. And they're like, it's so bad now. Like one of us could be AI right now and we wouldn't even know. Like
right.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, especially somebody like that who has a talk show every day for years and years. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel is one of them, and I think he said he's been on TV for 20 years now. Like they have more than enough like voice sample to like make his voice say whatever they want.
Yeah, they could probably just take it out of a 5-minute clip, yet alone 20 years of Jimmy Kimmel's voice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They can literally probably make a whole compilation out of AI entirely of his voice throughout the years.
Yeah, they could. I mean, that's what they said. They were like, we could literally keep this podcast going with AI and nobody would even know. It's ridiculous. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said before, I feel like it could be a good tool. I think it's cool, but the things that people are doing with it is where I think it stops being cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lines are being crossed that should never be crossed.
Yeah, like I've used some AI to generate photos and then taken that into Blender as inspiration to try to like model something or, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, it's going to get to the point where like all the CG assets are gonna be AI, and they're gonna fire, because I mean they don't have a union yet, so this the 3D and the CG people, they're all out there naked.
They're all out there naked. Yeah, unfortunately, they're out there naked and raw dogging it.
They're like the guys in the game that get so strong they take their armor off. You know what I mean? You just see like people running around in their underwear.
Right. Oh man, how unfortunate. We're finally getting attacked by AI.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't we just listen to John Connor?
Yeah.
Should have just listened.
Yeah, AI. I think that's enough AI talk for today. I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. Another little bit of news. I think we don't talk about it too often, but League of Legends Worlds has started. As of right now, it's Tuesday, the 10th of October. So there's been the first day was last night, and Monday, Golden Guardians, which is the U.S. team, got knocked out. So that's unfortunate, but U.S. usually is a little bit slower or lower level performance in Worlds and international tournaments. So there's still 3 U.S. teams. Hopefully we can do something this year, but I'm following that, seeing how that goes. It's supposed to be a month long, so we'll see where that ends up.
There we go. And it's hosted where?
It's in Korea right now.
It's hosted in Korea.
This year it's in Korea, yeah.
So what time does it air?
I think right now it's airing at like 2 a.m. for us in the Midwest. So
holy cow.
Midnight on the West Coast, 3 a.m. on the East Coast.
Dang. See, that's when I just start like looking up this day's highlight reel.
Right, yeah.
Well,
it's nice because they live stream the whole thing on like their YouTube and Twitch channels, so you can go and watch the VODs and stuff like that too. So
that's twice.
Yeah, you can log into if you play League of Legends, you can log into LOL Esports, and they have drops. So sometimes I just like turn it on and leave it running and go to sleep, and you can get like emotes and stuff for the game, and drops throughout the day. So Cool stuff.
Explosions!
Alrighty, guys, we are jumping into a new segment that we're kind of bringing into the podcast called On This Day. I got the idea while listening to the radio. So I heard it, and they did they did On This Day, and they did music history. So I was like, why don't I just adopt this into the podcast and do On This Day and comic history? And turns out Marvel does that for us. So this is going to be On This Day in Marvel Comics history.
There we go.
So this is the first segment of On This Day in Marvel Comics history. On this day, and well, not technically this day, but October 4th. So through this week, October 4th in 1977, the mercenary known as Paladin first appeared in Daredevil 150. So we got the first appearance of Paladin. And then in 1983, also on October 4th, Walter Simmons kicked it up a notch and gave Beta Ray Bill the mighty hammer Stormbreaker in Thor 339.
I know that's a very common controversial topic for the MCU, because Thor has Stormbreaker, and the only Beta Ray Bill we've seen is like a statue. So people are like, but where is he? Why doesn't he have the hammer? Or like, is it a hammer or an axe?
I think it's kind of like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's like a hammer axe thing.
Yeah. Stormbreaker. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Okay. It's like a hammer on one side, kind of, and like an axe on the other.
Right. See, this is the problem, because we're shooting the podcast, I don't realize that I have the computer right in front of me for some reason, and I can just look it up. So like, I try to go off of memory, and then I'm like, I don't know.
It's just like confusing because it's like Mjolnir is a hammer too, and I'm like, but it's not the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would love to see like a Beta Ray Bill in the MCU.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people would like to see Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
I know he's had quite a few different keys start popping off lately because people want to see them. I think it's a good thing to spec on, especially if we're kind of looking at more MCU stuff.
Yeah,
coming out in the future.
I'm curious to see what they do with Love and Thunder too, because of the end of that and how the movie was received. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I'm curious to see what they do.
Just scrap it.
Yeah. I mean, we have to see if Chris is even coming back as Thor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
after all of his health
thing.
issues, and he was really unhappy with how Love and Thunder was received, and so we'll see what he does.
Right. Definitely. You know, I think we have another one on this day. I don't know what year it was, but in ASM 248, The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man was released, and it's a news clip inside of the comic book of ASM 248, and it's a little article of The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man, and it's about Spider-Man meeting his biggest fan, and apparently it's a tearjerker. I haven't read this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't read this one, but apparently it's a tearjerker.
But was that kid willing to pay as much as you did extra for a issue of Spider-Man?
That was a bigger tearjerker. I mean, I don't know. Considering the fact that I was just about, oh no, this kid's definitely in his bedroom with a Star Wars poster on his wall. But I was like, he looks like he's in a hospital bed, so I don't know.
It's just Spider-Man's doing Make-A-Wish now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it looks like
who has more Make-A-Wishes, Spider-Man or John Cena?
Oh gosh. If Spider-Man was real, I guarantee Spider-Man. I guarantee it. I almost can guarantee that there's more Spider-Man Make-A-Wish like cosplayers than John Cena Make-A-Wish like wishes.
My Make-A-Wish is that I want to see Peter Parker and Spider-Man in the same room at the same time.
They're gonna be like, but, and be like, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Just let them believe.
Right. Oh, yeah. So that's October 4th.
Yes.
October 4th. And we can keep going, but I think that we're good. I think that's going to wrap up this segment of On This Day in Marvel Comics history.
Right on.
Explosions!
I think where you want to get into the DCU a little bit, right? After talking, we showed Marvel some love. Let's show DC some love.
Right. DC
I don't know if it's love or not, but
well, so this is the problem with James Gunn.
That's a good way
to
start love. Usually when I'm showing my wife love, I'm like, here's the problem.
Right. So here's the problem with you. Not this is why I love you. Here's love the problem shared. With you.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But okay. So not necessarily a problem. That was definitely clickbait. But just it's not a problem. I would necessarily say. But we've had a lot going on over the last year with the DCU, the MCU, the WGA, the LCA, the LCS, the NYCC,
WOW.
Right? Wow.
Yeah, but, I'm surprised you didn't talk about this World of Warcraft stuff, but let's get into the DCU.
I can. But yeah, DCU, last year, right after it was announced that Black Adam flopped, it was also announced that James Gunn is going to be taking over the DCU and making his own universe, and this is the way it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first thing that he does, if you remember, was fire Henry Cavill.
And we were all happy about it.
You were happy about it.
I wasn't happy about it. I just was indifferent about it.
I was very upset about it because I liked Henry Cavill as Superman. And you know what? I think it hurt more because I am a fan, and I think I just felt for him because like he dove headfirst into it. He loved like being the character in the first place, and then he had an awesome role as the Witcher, or in The Witcher, and decided to leave the main role in the Witcher to continue doing Superman.
Right.
That's what he chose.
Yeah, all of those things I am not happy about. I'm not happy about how it played out. Him himself being Superman, that I'm indifferent about.
Right.
Obviously, he looks
He's a
the
WoW
part.
player.
And he's a good Superman and stuff, but whatever. I could take it or leave it. But the way it went down, not cool.
Right.
Not cool at all.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, so here it comes, I guess, with Devil's Advocate, because his first move is obviously firing him and then saying that his first movie starting the DCU is going to be Superman Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Superman Legacy is going to start the new one, and that basically everything up until Superman Legacy does not matter anymore. Right? So we've been going through that for the last year.
Yeah.
Of this whole movies being released. This is all before we got Shazam 2. This is before Blue Beetle. Before what's the other one? No, well, yeah, it was before all that. It's before the Flash.
The Flash was the other one. It's easy to forget.
Yeah. Flash out of my mind. But it's not that easy to forget. Michael Keaton came back as Batman. Michael Keaton.
It's not easy to forget how bad it was.
It's not easy to forget how awesome Michael Keaton was, though.
The bar was not very high.
This is for Keaton.
I'm saying for the rest of the movie, the rest of the movie, him coming in was not a high bar to pass.
Right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. No. So yeah, it wasn't at all, but definitely stole the movie a bit. So this is pre any of that. So we have to go through these movies knowing that it's not gonna matter, which sucks. The thing is, when you kind of go back and start looking at it, did we really have that great of a DCU anyways?
I mean, we didn't have a DCU.
Well, that's the thing is that we did though. Like that's the whole thing.
The Snyderverse, you can argue that's a DCU, but it was horrible.
Right. So I was looking online. So what ended up happening, and I think this is kind of what is fueling James Gunn's thought process, was they shot Henry Cavill as Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And then that came out. And then out of nowhere, they decide and made it official that this is the DCU. This is the start of the DCU.
Yeah.
But they had no intentions while making that movie to do that. They had no intentions whatsoever to do that. So then that's what happened. So that's the start of the DCU. Then the next movie is Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
For this DCU, which wasn't a good movie.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have Batman fighting Superman right out of the gate. If you're counting this as the DCU, right?
And haven't built up the Batfleck at all.
Exactly. You haven't done that. You haven't even done a Man of Steel 2 to get there. None of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's followed up with what?
I mean, are we getting into Justice League or are we going into the other stuff first?
Suicide Squad.
Okay.
It's followed up with Suicide Squad, which then is followed up with Wonder Woman, which was the only movie so far that I've said that they've made money on.
Yeah, I mean, other than... I don't remember the first Wonder Woman. I don't know if there were cameos from Superman and Batman. But wasn't she in Batman versus Superman?
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm tripping. But
that's
like the
Justice
Suicide
League.
Squad. Like the Suicide Squad could have remained outside of that. You know what I mean? Like,
but they didn't.
They weren't connected by anything at that point. But then they just like threw everything together. Like they had like ingredients that aren't supposed to go together in a salad, and they're like, "This is our salad of the day." Like, you know what I mean?
Pretty much. That's what it's coming out to, you know. So like, that's the thing, is that we've kind of talked about the DCU up until this point, and we're always kind of like, there really is no, like, what's the start of it? So I did a little bit of research, and that's the official start, is Man of Steel, and this is the order that it came out in, and that this is how it goes, you know. And then Wonder Woman happened. Wonder Woman was the only one to make money. Everything else flopped. Except for maybe Man of Steel. I don't think that if it made money, it wasn't very much.
A lot. Yeah.
It wasn't very much.
Yeah.
Right. So they continue that with that process, and instead, then Justice League comes out. So that's what introduced Wonder Woman. Then Justice League comes out. That fails completely. Right? So then they're like, here, no, let's go back to this alternate universe thing.
It just had so much controversy around it anyways, with like the whole Snyder stuff and him having to leave, and then everybody wanting the Snyder cut, which Snyder started. Yeah, it was chaos around that movie in the first place.
Yeah. So it's kind of like no duh. Like, why would that movie do good, you know?
Especially when Snyder's like, this movie sucks, you should see my version. Like, yeah, people definitely think it's a good movie now.
Right? That's the funny thing is, though, you know, so then they come out with Suicide Squad 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then Birds of Prey,
which I liked, but people didn't even watch.
I liked it, but they failed.
Well, nobody watched it. People, I mean, we can get into a whole like women leading roles, but that's
but it's Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
So like, I went to go see Barbie because it was Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Just saying. You know?
Right, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that we feel that way. I'm saying that's a common feeling across our wonderful country of, you know what I mean?
You know,
like I said, we can get into that another time, but
we definitely can. We definitely can get into that. We have gotten down deep into that one, you know. But then after those, guess what comes out? The Snyder Cut.
Oh, okay.
The Snyder Cut. Right, and then Shazam, and then we're kind of getting closer to the newer movies that we now are.
Yeah, because most of those movies were on lists that I previously talked about how many movies DC has put out and not made money.
And it was every single one of those except for Wonder Woman, the first one.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Black Adam broke even. Doesn't count.
Broke even.
We know Flash failed. We talked about that. We talked about Shazam failing or breaking even. They got a little closer. Yeah. Black Adam apparently broke even. Apparently, right?
Yeah, right.
Which isn't nothing for a movie. It's supposed to make a lot of money, you know. Breaking even, you're doing it for free. We didn't talk about Blue Beetle. We never talked about Blue Beetle.
I mean, we did a review on it, but
right. We were of the opinion that this was probably going to lose money. Right?
We also agreed that it was the best DC movie in a long time. So
yeah. And that's the crazy part. I do have numbers.
What? How did it do?
Box office made $110 million.
Okay.
Do I know the budget?
Yep.
$110 million.
Hey!
We exactly broke even, and this is 3 weeks ago.
I don't think I feel like whoever said Black Adam and Shazam 2 broke even, I think they are sugarcoating the numbers, or they're very hopeful that that's the case. I don't think it is. Right. They spent so much money on Black Adam.
Right. The Rock buying 20,000 of his own tickets.
Regardless, if they did break even, and if Blue Beetle did break even, I don't think that's too bad for our current social norms for going to the theater and things like that, given the DC situation. But I think like the big thing about this is the fact that they came out and said none of these movies matter. Like they just shot themselves in the foot. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do like the idea. I mean, obviously the DCU doesn't start until Superman comes out, but there are supposedly things like Blue Beetle that are supposed to be involved in the DCU. So like the theory is that like since Blue Beetle and moving forward, if it's not Elseworlds, it happens in the DCU. We just don't know how until like the actual DCU start.
Right.
That being said, that could just be them like, hey, this is gonna be in the DCU. Hey, it's gonna be, and then the movie comes out and it's like, thanks for watching. This will not be in the DCU.
Right.
But we've also talked about how Warner Brothers will just like let this happen, and then if it doesn't perform the way they want it to, they just pull everything. So like not even James Gunn, but like how is anybody involved in DCU supposed to like move forward knowing that like the rug can be pulled out from under them at any moment? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know,
it's wild.
And this gets into my very last point. My very last point of this little segment. And this is what I've been saving for. What's coming out in December?
What is coming out in December?
Aquaman 2.
Oh, okay.
It's October 10th.
I basically erased that from my head.
Right. It is October 10th. It's coming out in December. Not finished filming. No trailers.
Yep.
No promo. No toys. No nothing.
Whereas like we got Kraven coming from Marvel.
Right.
Which reminds me, we need to
in
figure
like
out when that
two.
comes out. Okay.
And I think it's the 24th.
We got Kraven coming out. The trailer like made everybody like, is Spider-Man gonna show up? Is Spider-Man gonna be involved? You know, everybody's freaking out. Like, is the next movie gonna have Spider-Man in it? What are we gonna see? You know what I mean? And then on DC's side, we're like, where's the movie? Like, what are we doing? And then on top of that, like we don't know for sure, but we're like 98% sure that this movie absolutely has nothing to do because the main character is still going to be in the DCU, but not even the same person.
Right. It's funny because we haven't even gotten that officially yet, but that's just what is happening at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know, but like 98% sure, like it's probably happening. You know what I mean? But
like I'm just confused. Why haven't we gotten set photos? We haven't gotten nothing, dude.
I thought they were gonna cancel it. Like I thought
they were too.
They were gonna cancel it.
I thought they were gonna cancel it a year ago.
But where's Batgirl?
They never did.
Where's Batgirl? I want to see Batgirl.
That's
put it
done,
on,
dude. If they put
it on Max,
they should just put Aquaman 2 out and just put the movie Batgirl in it, and just put the title, and I'd be fine.
Yeah,
I'd be like, yeah, I paid for Aquaman, got Batgirl, even better.
At this point, you could just call it Flash 3, and it'd be just as good.
Right?
You know what I mean? It'd be just as relevant. I don't know.
But no promo, so this movie's gonna not do good at all. Probably never gonna get it. You know, just putting that out there at this point because nobody's leaked any set photos. We've gotten set photos of Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah.
You know, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, because this entire movie happens in front of a blue screen.
Right? Yeah, I guess, but
I feel like if this movie has one thing going for it. It's a shirtless Jason Momoa. Like that's people are gonna go see that. That's people are going to see that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mad about it. My wife's not gonna be mad about it. She might go to this one.
Right?
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think this is also just not that I'm like running to defend James Gunn. We've talked about that a million times, but I feel like he also had such a plan, like he wants to do certain things, but then the studio, like Warner Brothers, like, well, you can't do that. You can't do that until this happens. Well, you can't do that. And then he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And then he makes this announcement, and then the fans are like, you fired Henry Cavill? Like, do you guys want like a universe that makes sense or not? Because like I can make a universe that makes sense, but you're gonna be upset about some of the people that I have to let go. Right. Or I can give you what you want, and you're gonna complain because the movies are bad. Like, which do you want to complain about? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
everybody complains about everything. Blue Beetle was dope. Like, that was so good.
Blue Beetle was freaking amazing.
People are still complaining about stuff. I'm like, get over yourself.
I wish that could have been the start of the DCU, and Blue Beetle could have just been like the new thing.
I mean, that's what I was saying before. Like, it's not the start, but it's the first DCU character that we supposedly have seen.
Right, if he doesn't change, and we're not going to get, because that's the third Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah.
You know, so there's 2 more before him. So like,
there's 2 before him. I thought there was only 1 before.
Maybe there is. I could be getting confused.
Her dad.
There's 3 Blue Beetles. I think we might have got the second one. There's 1 before him. There's 1 after him. So there's 2 others that we could get, and they could just completely just bye, Jaime.
Well, we're supposed to be getting a show of the first Blue Beetle.
Let's hope.
With the guy that Tommy was talking about. I don't remember.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. He's got a weird one. It's like Zorro.
No. The comic book character that like interacted with the first Blue Beetle. I don't remember. He's got a goofy name.
I'm losing it.
He's got a goofy name.
I'm losing it.
Oh, I typed show and it just changed it to Showtime. Is Blue Beetle still in the theaters?
No way.
Blue Beetle. It's just giving me all the Blue Beetle stuff. Booster Gold. That's what it is. Booster Gold.
Oh,
we're supposed to get a show
with the first appearance of Blue Beetle.
We're supposed to be getting a TV show of like the first Blue Beetle and Booster Gold like interacting together. It's supposed to be like some kind of comedy.
So it's not going to be Jaime.
No, it's going to be like a different timeline. Like,
yeah, because so like
when he got
that
stuck.
makes sense.
Yeah.
The second you said Booster Gold, I was like, oh, the first Blue Beetle.
Yeah. So I mean, but I mean, all of this stuff has kind of been on hold with the strike. See beginning of episode. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what we actually get in true LCA fashion. We'll see
if we ever get it. If we ever get it, we might not ever go see another movie again, Jake.
Maybe not. Never watch another movie. Oh, I just watched a dope movie last night, but it's not comic book related, so I can't talk about it here. Tune into our other podcast called Lights, Movies, Action.
Lights, Camera, Action.
But yeah, it was. I'm excited that the strike is over. I'm excited to start getting new news, right. Instead of like, when is the strike going to end? We're getting all these announcements. This is pushed back again. This is pushed back again.
Instead of, now it's going to be like, this movie's coming out this day. We're going to see it this day. This is happening. Like,
right.
Some official stuff. We're going to have those people back at Comic-Cons again, which should be cool.
Yeah. I'm excited as well because this is something we haven't talked about yet, but Loki started, and I haven't been able to watch it yet. But
oh my God, it did!
Yeah. I think we're like 1 episode in, 2 episodes in right now.
I need to finish season 1.
That's why we don't talk about TV shows.
I'm halfway through it.
You are the worst at TV shows.
It's because I fall asleep and then
you fall asleep in movies too, and we talk about those.
Yeah, but I fall asleep hardcore at home, and then I'm like 4 or 5 episodes past what I was, and then I don't even know where I left off because I don't know where I fell asleep. So like, did I just fall asleep on episode 3 or 4? Well, I'm on 9.
All right. The Harley Quinn animated series is happening right now as well. And we got Loki season 2 just started. So
I have one more announcement.
All right.
We're officially on Shortboxed.
Shortbox.
We're officially on Shortbox, guys. So get the app. Check Shortbox out. We have all the exclusive covers. We're going to have our exclusive cover on there. That's where you can pick it up. You can also pick it up on Whatnot. So make sure you're checking the link in the description for that $10 off Whatnot. And we'll throw that link in the description for Shortbox.
There you go.
There we go.
For everything else, check the description below. This should be the last episode that is on the Collective Comics channel. So make sure you're going over to follow the Lights Comics Action channel. All episodes moving forward will only be on there and everywhere you listen to audio versions. Check the description for things like Shirtless Energy, 10% off at w.gg using code Collective Comics at checkout. We already talked about Whatnot, so I'm not going to do it again. And until next week, this is Collective Comics.
We'll see y'all.